presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Just a spectacular setting here in the Pacific Northwest. We're at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, it's almost like a nature walk out there. It's built amongst these wonderful sand dunes. As far as trees are concerned, there's only one really that comes into play. The rest are all in the distance, so you feel very much at one with the elements. It's kind of nice, actually, just going for a little stroll out there like that. Refreshing.
So we're ready to get the round going here at Chambers Bay, and we'll begin, Frank, at the first with a par 4.
496 yards, obviously that'll stretch anybody out there. That bunker down the right is very much in play. The fairway does narrow out too, just short of that. So this really is going to require one of your best tee shots. Semi-blind second shot, a relatively big green. Can we get a measure on that one? That's enormous.
Now the approach here at hole number 1, and Frank, what are we looking at?
Well, semi-blind, but it's fine. You know, just a little peek and you can see what's in front of you. Really no bunkers down the left side. If you do miss down there, a little chip back up the hill, but it's a big enough green.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
Makes the putt and goes to 1 under. Now to the second hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is not overly long. Where's the trouble here?
Well, 281 yards really to the big long bunker that goes all the way to the green. So as long as you can avoid that, you don't have to hit driver down here, just something that's going to be a little short of that. You're still only going to have 100 yards really, or just over 100 yards in for your second shot. A really good chance too to get off to a good start.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Shouldn't be a problem here. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners. More like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Putt for par. He needs one. 1 under early in the round. Frank, standing here on the 4th tee at Chambers Bay, you can see what this golf course is all about with those dunes on the left and all that sand down on the right. A lot of trouble here.
Yeah, first hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the two previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Make it 2 birdies on the day. Well, Frank, here at the 5th, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit the shot. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Now the approach shot here at the 5th hole at Chambers Bay, and how difficult is this?
Well, it looks straightforward, but the second shot, once again, just semi-blind. You've got to be very aware of that little central bunker that's just short of the green, because you're either going to have to go over it or around it.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Just a well-played approach shot right there. Only about 10 feet away and a good look at birdie here. Settles in over the putt. So with that make, now at 3 under par. Frank, now at the 6th, this appears to be a testing par 4 long one.
It is, but once again, a generous fairway. Just use those mounds down the left as an indicator on your line. Hole bends a little bit to the right. Good tee shot, though, and everything is in front of you. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Starting to fire on all cylinders. A couple of birdies in a row and now 4 under. Frank, this is a daunting challenge. The 7th hole, long par 4. It's over 500 yards.
And a huge bunker down the right side that probably runs for a good 200-300 yards. Obviously, that's to be avoided. And then, of course, there's the mounds and the hammocks and the dunes and that on the left side. That's the reason, really, why this hole's called Humpback. But then, a little bit like the golf course, there's only one greenside bunker to be worried about, but enough green left of that.
Frank, that one is long and it is straight.
Well, in baseball, that's a home run. In golf, that is a huge advantage over everybody else that plays the game. Can you imagine just teeing up on every hole knowing that you've got 20 or plus yards over your fellow competitors?
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realise that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Now the second shot to the par 5. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. And getting ready for the putt.
Oh, now that is going to hurt. It's going for a handful. This is 5 in a row.
Well, this is impressive now. 6 under par and 2 straight birdies. Finishing up our front side here at the 9th, it's a par 3. And Frank, how would you describe this hole?
Well, it's an absolute stunner, really, because of the views. And this is where you realize that links golf, minus trees and minus some of the things we see on other golf courses, can still look absolutely beautiful. But don't look at the scenery too much, because you've got, well over 200 yards here. Even though it's elevated, it still requires a good tee shot. But a little 2 here, and you might just have yourself a good outward 9. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. These putts keep the round together. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
This is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a couple of feet. Well, you can see it there. Feels very good about what he's doing. That's a nice par putt. Stays at 6 under. Getting set to tee off at the 11th hole. Long par 4, 537 yards. Frank, how do you play this hole? With a bazooka?
Yeah, try and take that dune out of play, that's for sure, in the middle of the fairway. Bunkers down the left are more for scenic rather than, they're not really problematic for the player off the tee. Just, as I said, hit it over that dune, and then really there's a ridge in the middle of this green, so you've got to be on the right level. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Six under on the day. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Well, they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. You want to seize it if you get the chance. This is a good one here. You can't leave an eagle putt short.
Now listen, anytime I left it short, I didn't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody you left it short.
All right, I won't say anything. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 13th hole now. It's a dogleg right, par 4. Frank?
But at 534 yards, you need an eagle eye, which is the name of the hole, to find exactly where you want to hit this. Doglegs to the right. There is a fairway that's plenty wide to accept a good tee shot. And then from there on in, it's actually a relatively straightforward second shot, providing you can miss that bunker that's just short in the middle of the green.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. He's hit the green, but his work is by no means finished. A difficult putt coming up from about 25 feet. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, he might like this one. He might like, oh, this one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Frank, now to the 14th hole, and this is the 5th consecutive par 4 here at Chambers Bay, and by this point, the players will know whether they're on their game or off their game.
At 546 yards, this hole can be shortened considerably if you choose to take a brave line down the left side. You can chew off as much as 70 or 80 yards. But once again here, because the hole bends to the left, you've really got to know which direction that wind is coming from. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. I like the looks of this one. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Moves to -8. Frank, normally on a golf course, you don't want to spend too much time in the trees, with the trees, around the trees. But part of me wants to go up and hug this tree because he's all alone. It's the only tree on the whole golf course.
Well, I know you're a tree hugger, Rich, I really do. But at 246 yards, when they play this off the back tee at the US Open, believe me, nobody's hugging that tree. They're just trying to make 3.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Putt for par. He needs one. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another. Should be safely on deck.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Frank, you don't need just a caddy out here at Chambers Bay. Seems like you need a sports psychologist. You start thinking about the names of these holes. Beached at 16, and what's 17 called?
Derailed, and you can see why too. That green's perched up there. If you've got the round going in the wrong direction, this is not a hole to start on. So if you've got a run going, it's just a good tee shot that lands around the front there, and you just take a 3 here. This is not a time to be a hero.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Did the job right there. Now to the 18th hole. Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walk-in golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department in your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Good lie in the fairway, a good chance to make something happen here. Frank, long gone are the days when you putted with a simple blade. Now you look down and there's a frying pan on the end of a shaft.
Yeah, it looks like grandma's skillet these days. That's what it is. But, putters are like drivers. You a bigger sweet spot. Even though putting is very, very precise, if you give a person a bigger sweet spot, he's going to make more putts.
That is classy.
They have a chance of going in.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, in the words of the late, great baseball commentator for the Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, it's time for Holy Cow, Whitey. That's 11 under par.